Guys, welcome back to Edumon Tutorials on Database Management Systems. So, in today's lecture, we are going to discuss the second topic in our third chapter, that is Basic SQL Query. So, throughout this video, we are going to cover the basic syntax or the structure of any SQL query, and we will look at the conceptual evaluation strategy of any query in SQL. Finally, we'll conclude this video by understanding how we can use expressions and strings in queries. So let's get started. So, conceptual evaluation strategy. As the name simplifies, or as the name says, conceptual is a logical way of understanding how to build a query in order to get the result you want. So it's a logical way of evaluation strategy, which is a way of building a particular query in order to get a desired output or the output that you want. So now that we know what conceptual evaluation strategy is, let's look at the basic form of an SQL query. So the syntax of any SQL query in query language is select followed by a distinct, which is an optional, so I've specified it in the square brackets, followed by a select list, from list, where qualifications. Now let's look at each of these terms to understand them. Right, so from list is the list of tables you want to perform these operations on. It can be one table or it can be a collection of tables. So next, select list. It is a list of columns you from the tables in the from list. These are the columns that so you'll be performing operations on these selected columns. Then you have qualifications. So qualifications are the Boolean combinations, or you can think of them as the filtering conditions you wanted to apply on the columns that you selected from the from list. Right. Since I said these are the Boolean combinations, we use operators like comparison or relational operators, which are like greater than, less than, equal to, greater than, equal to, is equal to, or not equal to. Right. So one more thing, just remember in DBMS we will use this symbol for specifying not equal to. So this is what we use for not equal to. Right. So now see, now that we know the syntax, let us look at how you actually evaluate a particular query. First, from the from list, you will be selecting the tables you want. Once you selected the tables, like if we have two tables, then we'll combine those two tables by performing cross product. Right. So now we have all the columns in the two tables. Now you will apply the qualifications in the where clause, and you will remove all the other things, and you will keep only what is required. You will remove all the other columns and you will keep what columns are required. Then now from the select list, you will select only what you want to be shown in the output. Right. So this is how a SQL query is evaluated. Okay. Now let's look at the evaluation strategy step by step. First step is compute the cross product of the tables in the from list. Like I said, first we will take the tables from the from list, and then we'll compute the cross product. Then delete the rows in the cross product that fail the qualification conditions. So just remove all the columns that do not satisfy the qualification condition that you have specified in the syntax. Right. Next, delete all the columns that do not appear in the select list. Right. See, you want the columns to be shown in the output. You'll only select those columns that you want to show in the output. So you'll delete all the other columns. You'll filter out all the other things, and you'll keep what is required. You'll select what is required. Right. If at all distinct is specified, you will delete the duplicate rows. Since I said it is an optional thing, sometimes you don't specify it. So this is the evaluation strategy for any query in SQL. Now let's look at few examples to understand it. Right. So before looking at the first example, here I am assuming that you know the three instances that we have been using from the past lecture, which is basically an instance of sailors, which has sailor ID, sailor name, his rating and age, and then reserves table, which has sailor ID, the boat ID, and the date in which the boat is reserved, and finally the boat instance has boat ID, boat's name, and the color of the boat. So fine. Now let's look at the example. So first example is that find the names and ages of all sailors. Right. So here, what is a table that is involved? Only sailors. We want names and ages. If at all you want distinct names, you can specify the distinct, or you cannot, you don't have to. Now the answer is as simple as that. Select distinct s dot name s dot age from sailors s. Here s is a alias for sailors, like object or alias, right? So let's look at the second example. Okay. So second question is, find all sailors with a rating above 7. So here we only have one table which is sailors, and we want the details of all sailors whose rating is above 7. So we'll simply select all columns with the wildcard character, that is asterisk, or you can specify each column name you want individually, and in the where clause we'll have a qualifying condition, that is s dot rating is greater than above. So let's look at the answer. C. Select s dot sid, s dot name, s dot rating, s dot age from sailors as s, where s dot rating is greater than 7. Here instead of specifying each column, you can also specify asterisk character indicating you want all the details in the sailors table about the sailor. So our third example is, find the names of sailors who have reserved a boat number 1 or 3. So from this it's clear that we need the names of sailors. So we need a sailors table. Then we want the person who reserved a boat 1 or 3. Right? So reserves table. Here we don't have anything to do with the boats table, because we have the boat ID and the date of reserving in the reserves table only. So we are only going to consider the sailors table and reserves table. Then we will select, in the select list we will select the names of the sailors, and we will combine the two tables with cross product by equating the unique IDs in both of them, and then we will have the qualifying condition where boat ID is equal to 1 or 3. Okay, the answer. C. Select s dot s name from sailors s, reserves r, where r dot sid is equal to s dot sid, which is generally used for performing the cross product, and r dot bid is equal to 1 or 3, which is a qualifying condition. Right? This is how you write a query for the result you want. Let's look at the next example. So find the SIDs of sailors who have reserved a red boat. Now see, we want the SIDs of sailors, so you don't have to require a sailors table because you have SID even in the reserves table. Then you want the one who have reserved a red boat. Where do you have color? In the boats table. So here we are going to consider the reserves table and the boats table, and we have the qualifying condition, which is boat color, right? So select r dot sid from boats B and reserves R, where the cross product condition, which is b dot bid is equal to r dot bid, and b dot color is equal to red. See. So let's look at the next example. Find the names of sailors who have reserved a red boat. See, there is a slight difference. Here we want the names of sailors. So in the before example, this is the same example, I just included the name. So with just a specification of name, here you have to consider the sailors table also, because there is no names column in the reserves table. So here I'll include the sailors table also. So select s dot s name from sailors s, reserves R, boats B, where s dot sid is equal to r dot sid, and r dot bid is equal to b dot bid, and b dot color is equal to red. So here when they asked us to specify the names, we have to consider the other table also, or else we don't have to consider all the tables every time. Right, now let's look at how you can use expressions and strings in a query. Okay, basically expressions, you can perform the expressions on the select list. For example, you want to give some increments in some salary, like you can say select salary plus some % of increment as a salary to all your employees, or you can specify whose rating is greater than something, or if someone's work is good, you want to give some more rating, you want to give some increments, then you have to use these expressions. So in the select list you can specify the expressions in this form. Each item in the select can have the following form: expression as column name, where expression can have it can use operators, it can use arithmetic operators mostly. So let's look at an example, right? Select s dot s name as name, s dot rating plus 1 as rating from sailors. So I'm basically just increasing the rating by 1 to all sailors. Here you can also use a where clause with some condition you want. For example, if it is an employee database, I would say just give some increments to all the employees whose rating has been increased. See, in those conditions you generally use. Here I just took a small example, right? Now let's see how you can use strings in a query. So SQL supports pattern matching through the like operator. You know pattern matching, right? We use this in regular expressions and all. So here we have something like a like operator which is used for performing the string operations in a query. So we use a like operator along with two wildcard symbols. First one is a underscore, which is exactly one occurrence or one character. It symbolizes exactly one character. And then we have percentile, which symbolizes 0 or more characters. It can be 0 or it can be more than 0, right? So let's look at an example. Now find the ages of sailors whose name starts and ends with B, and it should have at least 3 characters. So okay, the answer is like select s dot age from sailors s where s dot name like. There you will specify starting with B. It should have one character because we have a condition like at least 3 characters, so we'll specify an underscore. Then you will specify a percentile which says it can have 0 or it can have more. So this is how you use strings in a query. So this is all for today. I'll meet you in the next class where we'll be discussing the next topic of a third lesson. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you.